Today we're going to be talking to you a little bit about one of our favourite pastimes, which is being active. And from those of you who know us, will might have seen us running in the mountains and being active a lot of the time. And sometimes me without my top on, which I get a lot of flack for.
I always have my top on.
But in the meantime, what we want to talk to you about today is how we could possibly inspire you sitting over there watching and be inspired to be a little bit more active. And we've kind of summarized it into three different small categories. I'm going to mention the three categories, we're going to talk a little bit about them today, not too long. But the first category is finding the sweet spot. So finding an activity that you really, really enjoy. So in order for this to become a lifestyle, a true lifestyle, and something that you can do for many, many years, you've got to find an activity that you enjoy doing. It might be dancing, it might be hiking or walking or running or biking, it might be going to the gym, doing a class, a strength class. It doesn't matter, as long as you are enjoying that activity. Now, the problem with some of these activities, you guys might never have been active, so you don't know what you enjoy. And the advice would then be to go and try many different activities and see what you enjoy.
But bear in mind that you may definitely not love it instantly.
Correct, and we're going to talk about that as well. So find an activity that you can enjoy, and that's very important. So number one, finding the sweet spot. Number two is managing expectations, and number three is going to be how to get the most out of these workouts. So we've spoken about number one. Let's speak a little bit about number two, which is managing expectations, which what Yael touched on a few seconds ago. The biggest problem why people drop out or don't carry on training is because they typically start being active or an exercise program because they would like to lose weight or it's a New Year's resolution. Those aren't really the reasons to embark on being active. You should want to do it for the right reasons. And what are those reasons? Number one, it should be enjoyable. Number two, you should make sure that you are looking after your health first. So many people that want to do an exercise program or embark on hours and hours of training, running for example, do so because they'd like to lose weight. And many studies have shown that exercise doesn't necessarily equals weight loss.
In fact, if it did, you wouldn't see me.
So it's important that you guys manage those expectations and that you don't do things for the wrong reasons. So
all the benefits that you're looking for will come with time. Whether it's to gain muscle, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's just to be fit and stronger. I promise you, any routine that you stick to and you enjoy, forget about the aesthetics part of it. I promise you, you will enjoy the benefits when you stick with the program.
Correct, and something to consider as well is what we're really trying to do is create a habit. And how do you create a habit? A habit is formed when you do something routinely and consistently for between 2 and 3 weeks. So we can assure you that if you've never been active before and you embark on some sort of activity, there's a very good chance that it's going to be very unpleasant. So let's talk about running, for example. If you start running, initially it might feel like you've got razor blades in your throat. But understanding and managing those expectations, knowing that after a period of time you won't feel like that, that is what is important. So you've got to break through those 2 to 3 weeks, try and make it a lifestyle. It becomes a habit. Once it becomes a habit, you're doing something that you enjoy, then you have a very, very good chance of sustaining this for a long period of time. And it doesn't have to be limited to one activity, you can find many activities. You don't have to only do one particular thing. Me and Yael do many, many things, many different types of training, and we love almost all the training that we do. So, number one, finding the sweet spot. Number two, managing expectations. The last one, which is very simple as well, is how to get the most out of these workouts. A lot of people think that you have to spend hours and hours and hours. So we look at cyclists and runners and the cyclists can easily spend between 15 and 20 hours a week riding. That's fine, they're doing it for competition. We're not doing things for competition, we're doing things for health benefits and for enjoyment. Now, there's something that we want to talk about a little bit about today. It's called mitochondrial biogenesis, and that's really a fancy word, and all that it means is mitochondrial growth. Why do we want mitochondrial growth? It's very, very important to have mitochondrial growth because it helps with metabolism, helps with many, many health markers within our body. And in fact, science has actually proven that obese people have less mitochondria than active people and lean people. So we want to stimulate that mitochondrial growth, and there is one way in particular that you can really stimulate it quicker and more effectively than any other method. And that is something called HIIT training, and it's abbreviated as HIIT, and it stands for High Intensity Interval Training. And I'll just pass you on to Yael so she can explain to you a little bit about what HIIT training is.
Okay, so guys, what it is exactly what it says, high intensity interval training. So if you're just beginning, you can do a high intensity interval at any level. So if I say to you, I want you to start off, your aim is to end up running a 5K or 5 miler, what I would say to you is you're going to start off walking. And even if you were going to go walk around the block, what I'd say to you, start off doing short intervals with longer periods of recovery in between. So it doesn't mean a full-out sprint to begin with. It would mean you were going for a walk for a minute and maybe picking up the intensity of the walk, probably for 20-30 seconds, then recovering. And the recovery time would be based on you. When you feel like your heart rate has come down to normal and you feel like you have your breath back and you can talk to your partner or you can talk to somebody that you're training with, then you're ready to do the next interval. Obviously, the fitter you get, the longer your intervals can become, but we never want to really take them over a minute, maybe a minute and a half, depending on what type of training you're doing. And then the shorter your recovery periods will become. The shorter your recovery basically will determine your fitness levels. So obviously, the quicker you can recover, the fitter you are. So eventually you want to be doing a minute or a minute and a half interval with a 20-30 second break in between. This way you could train 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes, half an hour. It doesn't mean you have to do things for hours on end. You can do it walking, you can do it on the bike, you can do it in the pool, you can do it up a flight, you can do it on a flight of stairs. You could basically do it anywhere. You could do a set of pull-ups if you had a chin-up bar. You could do it anywhere. You could do it doing tricep dips on a chair. So basically it's the type of training that is suitable to do anywhere with very limited periods of time and with maximum benefits.
Correct, and I just want to add to that. So basically we are talking about polarized training. On the one side you've got this high intensity interval followed by a proper recovery.
And you do want to see those spikes.
Correct, so as with blood glucose, we don't want to see the spikes going up and down. With interval training, you do want to see your heart rate spikes going up and down. You know that you're doing interval training perfectly.
And another thing to bear in mind, guys, when your heart rate is going up there, remember that that's probably glucose dependent when you're going into anaerobic zone. Initially, you won't be going that high. But as you get into it and the fitter you get, you will be taking your heart rates pretty high, probably close to max. Which means it's really, really beneficial because you're going to be emptying out the glycogen stores in your liver. So please do not get a fright or get shocked if you check your blood glucose readings and they are elevated directly after exercise. Give it a half an hour, 20-30 minutes, and you will see that your blood glucose numbers will fall back low again. And if you measure your ketones will then recover and also go back up. So don't worry about the spike in your glucose directly after high intensity training.
So we'd like to just summarize again. You need to find the sweet spot, you need to find something, an exercise, an activity that you can enjoy. If you haven't done that activity before, or you've never done activity before, you may need to do a few different types of activities to see what you enjoy, and it doesn't have to be limited to one. The second thing is managing expectations. Don't do this for the wrong reasons. Do it because of the many, many benefits, the psychological benefits, the health benefits, the mitochondrial growth. There's so many different benefits. Weight loss, if you are not stressed, could happen to be as a result of this. It shouldn't be the driving force.
So the aesthetics are definitely going to be just a positive side effect.
Correct. And then also, you need to manage those expectations. In other words, build this habit over a period of between a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. It's not, something that you're going to do today and absolutely love it tomorrow. Correct. And then lastly, get the most out of your workouts. As Yael said, you don't have to spend hours and hours. HIIT training can be done anywhere. As Yael said, up a flight of stairs, etc., etc. I just want to mention to you, if you've never done activity before, there are many videos on YouTube. So simply go into YouTube and type in HIIT training examples. There are many different examples. You can even say stair HIIT intervals, swimming intervals, running HIIT intervals, many different ones.
Guys, just bearing in mind, if you've never ever done any sort of activity and it's not part of your routine and you do have health concerns or health issues, please remember to just check with your doctor, just to make sure that everything is in order and he's happy for you to start this.
And to add to that, you don't have to start doing a 20-minute HIIT interval. In fact, what our suggestion would be, if you've never done any activity before, is let's assume that you want to start walking or trail hiking. My suggestion to you is do 5 minutes of a very, very easy walk. Forget about your training in the beginning. Progressively build up to 10 minutes, to 15 minutes. It can be over a month. It doesn't have to be done in a week. Once you've got up there, start doing baby steps. Start doing little bits of exertion of HIIT training. Eventually, you'll have the strength and stamina to build it up to proper HIIT training. So I think we've covered everything. We hope that we can inspire you. We hope that you can become active and get the many benefits out there. And we just thank you very much for all of your support. And from Adapt Your Life, over and out. Thank you very much.
If you do have any questions about any sort of exercises that we could help you with, or there's something that you want to see that you can't find, please let us know and we'll try our best to help you.
Correct. Put it in the comments section there and we'll answer all the questions. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.